Zalia. I work at Movati Athletics. Today I will be talking to you about stress and sugar. So what is stress to you? It could be a death of a loved one. It could be debt. It could be a financial crisis. It could be stress in the workplace. Whatever it means to you, it all affects us differently. There's many biological traumas that can affect our stress, whether it's punishing diets, silent infections, inherited disease, deficiencies. Is stress a bad thing? Yes and no. We need it to keep us alert, add spice into our lives, get us revved up. But chronic stress can have the complete opposite effect. Stress begins in the adrenal glands. Without them, life would be unbearable. The adrenal glands, they produce 30 to 40 different hormones. Two of them that are released during stress are adrenaline and cortisol. So what is adrenaline and cortisol? Adrenaline alerts you of danger. So if there's a tiger that comes and attacks you, your body goes into fight or flight response, releases adrenaline, and gets you ready to either fight the tiger or flee. Cortisol is also released, which actually strengthens your endurance and your stamina so that you can keep fighting that tiger and you can keep running away from that tiger. In today's society, we struggle with chronic stress. Cortisol and adrenaline are constantly released in our bodies, causing many issues. The main causes of release of cortisol and adrenaline that's continuous is high sugar diets, severe chronic infections, caffeine, drugs, or any other environmental chemicals. Constant exposure can lead to many degenerative diseases, whether it's heart disease, osteoporosis, obesity, a slow immune function, or even Alzheimer's disease.
Can I have a question?
For sure.
How do we know how much of it is good for you and how much of it is actually not good for your health?
Well, it really depends how much you have been stimulating your adrenal glands. So if you are in constant stress mode, stressing about the same things about tomorrow and really revving up your anxiety, adrenaline and cortisol is naturally produced chemically in your body continuously as an adaptive form for your body to be safe. So a lot of stimulants, for example, affect our adrenal glands and put them under strain continuously, constantly. As you can see here, lots of factors affect the adrenal gland. So you can have regular issues that put a lot of psychological stress on you, whether it's financial, your job, marriage, death of a loved one. It could be your lifestyle, it could be smoking. Maybe you're not sleeping properly, maybe you're not exercising enough. If you're not relaxing enough, that's definitely going to stress you out. Body issues, for example, as well. If you already have infections or some sort of weakness in your immune system, for example, as allergies or infections to acute and chronic diseases, that's also going to put a lot of stress in your body. The biggest one right now is the diet in our society. So stimulants such as coffee, we drink that Tim Hortons double every single day. And we don't realize how much of an effect that has on our adrenal glands. Lack of good food is a big one. We don't have enough nutrients to keep up with the stimulation in our bodies. White flour products, sugar, those are the biggest detriments to our stress. So let's talk about food. We need it to survive and be healthy. So when you are stressed, the food choices that we make are actually the most important choices. If we choose to have terrible food, so the old saying, garbage in, garbage out, if you eat not nutrient-dense foods such as white flour products, caffeine, lots and lots of sugar, that is going to affect your body internally, and that's the garbage that you're going to bring out, which is stress. The adrenals respond to these type of foods. What happens is that your blood sugar spikes, and that activates cortisol and adrenaline together, revs up your metabolism, and burns up your nutrients that you already have in your body. So let's talk about the blood sugar addictions that we're addicted to. Ask yourself, are you addicted to sweet, starches, fats, drugs, and stimulants? Hard drugs such as sodas, chocolates, ice cream, potato chips, bread, fries, pasta, caffeine, and even cigarettes, they all do the same thing. As you can see here, every time that you have one of these simple sugars, they will spike your blood sugar, making you feel temporarily good for a little bit until your blood sugar crashes. Your pancreas releases insulin to stabilize your blood sugar. But if you overexhaust your pancreas with such severe blood sugar spikes, eventually the pancreas gets exhausted, and that's when you have full-blown type 2 diabetes. When we're feeling tired and depressed all day because we're stressing out about other things, what do we go for? We go for the sugar, we go for the cigarette, we go for the caffeine to make us feel better. But what we don't understand is that it's just only a temporary relief. So if you're addicted to any of these stimulants, don't tell yourself that you just have weak willpower. You are physically addicted. It's not your fault. It's a chemical imbalance, and we have help to help you. Okay, so what if you're only stressed and not addicted to stimulants? Doesn't matter. Well, it does. Let's say, for example, you're in traffic and you're rushing to get to work. So, obviously your blood sugar isn't spiked from food because you're not eating food at that moment. You're just stressed about the fact that you're late to work. Your body will automatically release adrenaline, which releases cortisol, just because you're stressed out. Now, why is that a problem? Adrenaline and cortisol have glucose receptors, meaning that every time that adrenaline and cortisol is released by adrenal glands, blood sugar is also released into the bloodstream to give you quick energy. That's our natural body's instinct. But what happens with that is that blood sugar gets released into the bloodstream, the pancreas releases insulin, and then you see that whole cycle starts all over again. Blood sugar spikes, it drops, and we are in chronic stress mode, continuously releasing blood sugar into our fat cells, our bloodstream, and causing all havoc on our bodies. So how does stress make us fat? Insulin, which I just mentioned earlier, is a storage hormone. So it regulates blood sugar, removes fat stored in fat cells, removes sugar stored in the liver and muscle cells, and directs amino acids towards building muscle. So as you can see, it's actually a very important hormone in our body to be regulated. Though, insulin during stress response does the complete opposite of anything good for the body. The first sign is that when stress is released through cortisol release, the body screams, no more energy storage. We actually don't have any more energy storage. So what does the body do? It releases glucose into our bloodstream so that we have more energy to function properly. The fat cells will dump more fat into the system. The liver cell will crank out more glucose. And the muscle cells will allow more protein to be broken down to supply amino acid. So what do you see here? There's complete catabolism in the body, meaning that breakdown of everything that we have worked to build up in the body to keep it healthy is breaking down just so that the body gets quick energy to escape any fight or flight response moment. Infrequently occurring, all is fine. Natural body response to acute stress. Frequently occurring, there's a problem, leading to insulin resistance, and then potentially leading to type 2 diabetes. So, stress makes you fat. Literally easy to put it that way. Excessive secretion of stress hormone cortisol basically can affect every other hormone and receptors in the body. For women, there's a big increase in testosterone. In men, big increase in estrogen. Not to mention, a release in insulin also causes diverse oxidative stress, breaks down neurotransmitters. They're not properly transmitted in the brain, which causes mood issues such as depression and anxiety. Cholesterol definitely goes up because your liver, which is responsible for fat synthesis, is consistently releasing glucose, so it gets exhausted, which also causes fat metabolism to slow down. Cholesterol builds up in the bloodstream. Your blood pressure goes up, and like I said earlier, the liver detoxification pathways are weakened. So there's many stress managements and avoidances that we can do to manage our stress. Many things do have to do without diet. We can take a bath, we can get a massage, we can take a long weekend, take a yoga class. It's very important to find something that you can cope your stress with. You need to drink more water, for sure. A lot of individuals who are dehydrated are actually very stressed out, so up your water intake. Exercise is very calming. It releases endorphins, releasing dopamine in the brain, causing a nice feel-good chemical. It also releases adrenaline and cortisol, so it gives you that same good feeling as that stress response would, but you're actually using that energy, using it up. Crank up, your favorite music, get a pet, take a full day off each week. Don't feel bad for taking care of yourself. It's very important. Your loved ones will thank you, you'll thank yourself, and you'll feel a lot better. That's everything. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.